Hi, my name is Joshua Kyer. I'm here to talk about the controversy speech of hate crimes. So, where I'm going to start off with is that I was researching on hate crimes from either from the past, even from back then, or even from the war too. And I even looked at hate crimes on like race because that's a big problem these days right now. Like we're dealing with like hate crimes against African Americans, Asians, Hispanics, and even Muslims. But, the world is just crazy out there. We can't do anything about it. But we can make a change. We can make a change of an aspect to people out there. Instead of just hating on a race, you need to just, bring up the race, man. Like, don't just bring down a race just because you don't like them. Like, why you hating on the race? Why? Is it because you're is it because you think they're better than you? No, that's not what the thing is that you need to literally accept the race. You need to accept all race. You need to accept all religion and accept their opinions. But I mean, it's just that simple right there. But that's just not how our world is. It's just our world is just mixed up with negative emotions and negative aspect out there. But I am going to start off with one hate crime back then. That's in the past, and I wasn't even close to being born. Like none of us were born yet. This was like before we were even advancing the technology. This is like a different country that was advancing technology, but they were just more into like war basically. But I'm gonna get on to the first part we're gonna get to is Rome, and this hate crime was a man named Emperor Nero, where he was just ruling Rome, and he just was just enjoying his life as the emperor, and then fire struck in Rome, and it completely devastated the portion of Rome where he thinks he's blamed for all this that's happening, but that's not what really. But the thing is, he thinks he's blamed for it, and so he turns his direction to all the Christians and the religious groups as being blamed for this. So he just does punishments by either putting them on crosses, getting dogs to chase after them so that they can capture them and put them in like prisons and jails, whatever, for no reason. And then he would put them on stakes to burn them. And I think all this is uncalled for. But those times were different, and it was just he just hated religious groups, Christians. He said anybody that had beliefs of that were going to be put to those punishments he was ordering. But those were just out of nowhere, and he just got to accept that he just got to accept that it wasn't really his fault. The fire just happened to devastate the portion of Rome, but he doesn't take it that way. And another hate crime I'm going to also explain is, let's see, back in World War II, if you know about the Holocaust, this man Hitler wanted to literally destroy a whole race, even a religion as well, Jews, because he couldn't stand the fact that it wasn't Germany's poverty that was going down because of Jews. The Germans' poverty was so bad because they were blamed for the reason of World War One. He just doesn't get the fact of that. So he decides to blame the Jews for all the problems Germany is dealing with. And so he targets them. He goes to their lands and decides to take them, put them in camps, which are pretty much their demise. He even works them on labor to their deaths. And given fact, one thing is he literally those people that were put in the camps were in so much worse conditions, you couldn't even sleep correctly. Like, the beds they were given were poor condition, and you were basically sleeping so close to somebody, and it was just uncomfortable, and they couldn't do nothing about it. And so the soldiers, if they saw you either weak or couldn't work anymore, they just rightfully just killed you. And I just think this is just not even, why would you even do this? And the crazy part is they would also kill the Jews, put them, even worse, they would get their deadly corpse and put them in chimneys and burn them to ash before any of the other people, before the other countries found out what the camps were really for. Because the videos they were sent of what the camps were what they were doing in the camps weren't the things that were in the camps when they found out. But also, they were also put in gas chambers, which is deadly, poison gas. And it's just like, why would you want to kill a whole race? Like, he killed 6 million Jews just because he targeted them, which was one of the biggest and worst hate crimes. It's also known as genocide, an extermination of a whole group of people that you targeted. But like, another thing is, just don't hate people. But another thing is, I'm gonna get to a story on a hate crime for African Americans, because like, this one, I just don't know why teenagers would do this. But teenagers in June 2011, but a group of white teenagers decided to drive around Jackson, Mississippi, where they had harassed African Americans. And they started by targeting a man named James Craig that was 48 years old. And they attacked him, and also were shouting, "White power, white power, white power." Like, why? What was the purpose of that? And then after that, they decided to get in their vehicle and decided to run him over and basically kill him. In which they targeted him, which was a hate crime. They were also convicted of a 1 count of conspiracy and then 1 count of violating the Shepard-Byrd Act, which I forgot to research the Shepard-Byrd Act, which I know I should have researched that, but I'm just doing this because in my conclusion of this, like, why would you want to do this? Like, what are you gaining out of this? What are you gaining? And he did not deserve this. Like, what did he deserve this for? Like, I don't understand why you would want to do this. Like, he's just trying to live his life, and you should just accept his race, and like, you should accept all race. That's all I'm saying. You should accept all race, no matter who they are, because everybody's good people. Well, depends how you act, and depends what you do. But now, a hate crime against the Asian. We've had some problems with that during the pandemic of COVID-19, and there was an incident that happened during that time where an Asian hate crime happened, where a random person decided to target 8 people that were Asians, and it was in a mass shooting in Atlanta. And it was during March 16th in Atlanta, where there was a result of 8 deaths because of the shooting. Most were Asian women, but 4 of them were confirmed as of Korean descent. Now, I don't know why you just decided to go out there one day to just shoot up 8 people. Why? Are you like mentally sick in the brain or something? I don't know. But like, he just decided, a random person decided to target 8 people. And I'm pretty sure if I would have looked a lot more, there was probably some people injured from that. But I was just doing what I could do. But another thing I'm going to talk about is the hate crime against Hispanics. Now this one, I don't know why you did this. And what the crazy part is, what I'm about to talk about is, what this one is the worst thing that happened the worst thing that happened after that. So, on January 9th, 2004, there was a shooting that involved a Cuban in an altercation with 2 Missouri residents named Joshua Aston and his cousin Justin Harrison, where they had decided to travel to a remote section of Arizona where they had the intentions to kill any Mexicans around. For no reason at all, really. And they decided, how about we just go to this guy, how about we just pick the first person we see? And they shoot the man named Pedro Corzo, which they shot him when he was being distracted by a barricade from boulders or something. And they decided to shoot him. And then when they shot him, they basically got caught doing it. And they both got put in life sentences. But you know what's the more messed up part? Is that the younger kid known as Joshua Aston, that was 16 years old, decided to, no, he didn't decide to, he got dropped of those charges and basically was a free man, which is messed up. And honestly, I think he should have at least got some jail time at least. Not just go scot-free of a drop charge. But, life's just not like that. The world's just not like that. The world just gets more crazier, and I just hear more stories of people kill this person, people kill this person, and it's a crazy world out there. But thank you for listening to my speech of hate crimes, and I had a great time in this class, and I hope you have a good day.